Unbelievable. Oh my goodness.
SHW. This is our wrestling.
This is insane. Are you kidding me right now? Hey, what is going on here? The action is fast and furious. You never know who's going to show up in SHW.
Brandon Benefield, Gerard Bonner, and Diana Michelle.
Business is about to pick up. This place just went ballistic. What is going on, everybody? We are back for the official podcast of Southern Honor Wrestling. It's SHW. This is our wrestling. B-double Brandon Benefield, GB Gerard Bonner, and the lovely Diana Michelle coming at you for another fantastic show. How y'all doing?
What's up? What's up?
Great.
You know,
how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, although I'm very hungry right now.
Hungry?
Off air, before we started, Diana was talking about the wings she was making. Then she was talking about pimento cheeseburgers, which I've never even heard of, but sound amazing.
It's amazing.
So we're going to have
a preview. I think we got a preview of a new segment that we're going to do, Cooking with Diana.
I was going to say when you do like a spin-off segment. Yeah.
Maybe not cooking with Diana, but just ideas from Diana. How about that?
Wait. Diana.
Just ideas.
The idea you gave us is amazing. You don't
No. It's totally awesome. It's amazing. I will make you guys pimento cheeseburgers, but as far as cooking with Diana, you don't want to see that.
Well, now,
all right.
For a reason, baby. I'm single for a reason.
Well, you know what? The fact that you're saying you don't want to see it kind of makes me want to see it more. So
right now, I'm really intrigued.
Of course. Hey, we can work it out.
I can't. The way, but see what you guys missed is the way she described this whole pimento cheeseburger. It was described like somebody who knows how to cook it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like, cooking with Diana makes sense because you know.
And you know the little emoji of the face with the little drool coming out? That's what I was doing. That was my face.
I wish you could have seen his face.
Yeah, I was glad we weren't on the air yet, because then I had to snap out of it like, oh, yeah, we got to start the show.
Right.
So good.
Anyways. Well, I'm glad to see you guys. It's good to see you, as always. And we are kind of in that time of the month where we're a couple of weeks removed from the last show, but we still got a couple of weeks to go for the next show, and we're always just itching to get to the next show, but we got to wait a little bit.
Well,
it lets us build. It lets us, kind of take in what's coming out every week, because we don't always know what's going to happen.
Right.
And then when it comes to show week, it's so hype. You just about to burst. I've got to get out there with you guys on show night. I've got to get out there.
Yeah,
we always got the pre-show. Yeah, you're more than welcome. Anytime.
I've got, even for 5 minutes, I have to get out there.
All right.
Yeah, you're usually pretty busy though, like getting ready for the show and things. So I mean,
things change all the time. You never know. Like I say, you never know what's going to happen. It's like, hey, Diana, we're going to do this, and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay,
I was going to say, I don't think the fans realize how much actually goes. They just see you on show night in the ring doing your thing. I don't think they realize how much stuff goes on behind the scenes prior to the show.
By the way, I know you've gotten your kudos like at the top of the year, winning the whole announcer of the year thing, but I don't know that people really understand how much you deserve that award.
Oh,
seriously, you just are killing it. And like in listening to these last couple of shows, I feel like, that moment when you kind of, everybody gets in their zone.
Yeah.
Being in radio and stuff, it's funny. I'll go back and listen to some of my first shows from years ago, and I'm just like, who's that? And I can't believe I put that on the air, because it's that process of finding your voice,
Right.
And as I'm learning, and B-Dub hasn't had this problem because he's been with SHW since like day one. But, the Canton crowd, they can be a tough crowd when you're new. They can really be tough. And so following an act like Pat, which was all they knew for a while, was completely tough. and
Yes.
you have come in and you have worked things in such a way where, you know, you are the voice. So I am excited. And it's funny, I go back and I'm listening to the shows and, you know, watching SHW 27, and I'm just like, Diana is killing it, like killing it.
I
So
love that.
I
And
just wanted to,
honestly,
publicly give you your flowers. You are killing it, and I am
thank
proud
you.
that you are the best looking part of V3. Absolutely.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Absolutely.
But we
That's
all work
facts.
together.
Facts.
We are
We
such
do.
a unit,
We
and
are.
it's like I love you guys. I mean, without you, I would be just Diana. But I love being a part of V3, and it's amazing.
Listen.
You guys are awesome, and to watch IWTV back and see our shows and the excitement that you guys give. If people have not seen the shows on IWTV, they're missing out some serious commentary because you guys are killing it.
Wow.
It makes it even more. No, it makes it even more exciting to hear you get excited and like your first reactions to everything, because everything is fresh. It's not like we know.
Very fresh. Very
Everything
fresh.
is fresh.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I love it, man.
Well, and
To
to
be a
that
part of
end,
you guys.
I think one of the things that people don't understand is that there are a lot of moving parts when it comes to something like SHW. You know, people often see who's in the ring. And it's funny because, you know, those folks who are live, who get to see the show first, still don't get to see the whole thing because they don't get to hear commentary.
No,
you know?
and that's what makes it, because you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's fun doing it, but it adds, I know, you know, whenever I get to go to a show where I don't hear the commentary, half the fun is going back to watch to hear what the commentators are talking about.
Right.
And so certainly you guys can do that by checking out IWTV internet, independentwrestling.tv, which you can check out on the internet.
Yes.
You know, you can go ahead and sign up there. Your first 5 days are free if you use the promo code SHW. And so if you go to our shows every month, which we widely and greatly appreciate, go ahead and check out IWTV. It will give you a completely different perspective on the product, and you'll see just how incredible SHW really is. So check it out.
Telling you, because you could be at the show, and as much as I want people at the show, because I do, I want you to come experience the live show, but you can't see everything. But when you listen to you guys' commentary, it's like you bring in attention to some of the things that people may have forgotten because they're caught up in the moment. They're like, oh my God, Ali and Towers are in there with fear, and you're just caught up in what's going to happen. You got barbed wire, you got sledgehammers, you got everything, but you sometimes you forget the backstory, and you guys bring that alive, and it's amazing what you do.
Thank you.
My commentary team of the year. Hello.
Thank you.
There's a reason. There's a reason.
Thank you very much.
You guys are awesome.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And GB, I think it's been since January of 2020 since we initially got on IWTV.
Yes.
And I will tell you right off the bat, for like the first several weeks, I could not get it out of my head. I kept saying internet wrestling. And I was like, it's not internet, it's independent wrestling.
Right.
I kept doing the same thing.
I didn't even know what it stood for the first 2 shows I was announcing. And I was like, okay, I'm glad you guys have a video.
I would go back and hear it later, and I was like, oh, I said it wrong. Oh, come on. Anyways, we got to figure it out now. Independent Wrestling TV.
Independentwrestling.tv. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Oh, anyways, well, getting back to what we mentioned earlier, talking about being in the between showtime, kind of the lull right now. But Diana, like you said, this is the time where you see all the videos released on SHW's social media pages and the match graphics, which we started to see a couple of those pop up over the past week. We've seen all these backstage interviews that happened after the last show, backstage with Susie, which, by the way, I want to say it's good to see Susie back because we've missed her
back, Susie.
last few months with those backstage interviews. So it's good to see her back finally. And yeah, but now we got a couple more weeks before the next big show. And of course, at the next big show, June 4th, SHW 28, we're going to see this next guy. He happens to be our guest here tonight. He is the working team captain. I'm talking about Owen Knight. And we got a chance to talk to him a little earlier, and it was a blast, as it always is. So without any further ado, let's check it out. Here he is.
Owen Knight.
Ladies and gentlemen, like we mentioned, our very special guest this week, the working team captain himself, Owen Knight, back here on the podcast. It's been, Gosh, when's the last time it's been? Maybe almost a year, perhaps?
It's been many moons. Yeah, I think almost like a year.
Shoo.
Yeah, it seems like it's been many moons, but I think it's almost been like a year.
Well, 2020 threw the time frame off for everybody, so it's hard to think.
It was 2020 for like 20 years. 2020.
It really was,
Big
but
facts.
I mean, we've got a lot to catch up with you about because,
Yes,
like
we
I
do.
said,
Yes, we do.
I think the last time we talked to you, I don't even know that we were back with the shows yet, because we started back in August with the Rumble Jack. And
I think we were dead set in like maybe June. I think maybe June or July. Like I think it was right in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
So when we was in the middle of Atlanta, right about to get off.
Right.
I gotta be real. We were about to be like, okay, y'all, I guess we can go outside now for real. So it was on the edge of that. But yeah, around like June or July.
And it all depends on what part of town you're in, what part of the state. Because, like, in Canton, for instance, it's like, what pandemic? So
yeah, exactly.
It depends on where you're at, really. But anyways,
I know
go ahead.
I know downtown Atlanta was definitely popping.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to finally have you back on the podcast with us. We got a lot of catching up to do, and
yes.
But so when we came back, one of the big things I want to get to, and we can kind of bounce around here, but you had the big cage match with David Ali, and I'm always interested to talk to guys that have actually been in cage matches because I know it's a whole different ballpark than just a regular wrestling match. So
yeah.
I guess to start with, and again, we'll bounce around. We can go all over the place.
Yeah,
That's how we roll here on the SHW podcast.
You know the vibes.
But I'm just curious about this cage match. So, first of all, had you been in a cage match before? And if so, like, what are your thoughts going into one to prepare for one?
The only time I like really been in a cage was I think it might have been War Games. Jesus, it's fine.
What's going on?
I agree.
Diana's dog has been in a cage.
No,
yeah.
the dog is right.
You don't like cages, man.
She's like, you don't know.
Right.
You don't understand the pain, man.
Lay down. Lay down.
I'm crying.
Sorry.
But no, you're good. You're fine. But I think the only time I was actually in one was when we did War Games.
That's right.
And but I think it was a little different because it was like 85 people in there, so it was a lot of people in there, so it was a little different. But
in the cage,
yeah.
Well, not at the same time, but you know, with War Games, like realistically, like 7, 8 people. It was just a lot.
It seemed like 85. Yeah.
It seemed like about 80, 90.
It did.
But,
it did.
But preparing for like a one-on-one, and you know, with us being like the main event, you know what I'm saying, for SHW, for the title, going back to either like documented from the story from all the way from the beginning up until now, it felt like it had to culminate inside of a cage where you had to leave it all in there, so to speak. You couldn't leave nothing out.
Right.
So mentally, honestly, I just really try to just get in tune with my star player and just realize that, you know, we're gonna go in there and just not only, you know, not only beat the hell out of David, you know, because I enjoy beating the hell out of David, but
thanks by the way.
It's fine. It's all good. It's all good. But also get to, you know, make history and just put on a good match, you know, for the people, you know what I'm saying, for us to look back on. I really feel as though that was, for me personally, that was one of like my best matches, like, you know, ever since I've like started, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely one of those. So yeah, it was cool. Yeah. It was really, really cool. Yeah, and that cage hurt like hell. Jesus Christ.
I believe that. Because it looked really stiff. There was like no bounce. It was
so raggedy. Oh, it was no bounce. When I ran, when he moved and he pushed me into the thing, I said, Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Can we practice one?
I'm dead. Wait, what is that again?
So let me ask you this, because you talked about making history and things of that nature, and I know, you know, given the last couple of years kind of in society, life has been very, very crazy. And then of course 2020 did what it did, and certainly a lot of people this year paid attention in terms of WrestleMania to what happened with Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks relative to representation. You guys kind of got to, which was amazing.
I'm sorry, right? I may cut you off, but
no, you're good. You're good. But you guys got to, you and David got to do something similar to that to really kick off 2021 for SHW. How important was that for you to be involved in a main event of that much of a historical nature in SHW?
I think, like you said, 2020 was definitely a year to like remember, a year to talk about, especially for Black men, and to be in a position where when me and David were the first, and I don't know how you want to like say it or whatever, but I think we were the first, two African Americans, the main event, the show. So I mean, if we compared it to that, it was really cool, because for a long time, the country as like a whole has had this stigma with like Black people, and it starts from generations to what I'm saying, it goes on. And really what really heals everything is just love and just peace, and all that extra stuff is just really just nonsense that trickles down from stuff.
Right.
So being able to go through all that and persevere, to get through, to be able to be in the atmosphere like that was great. And not to sound maybe a little Black, a little Black little boy was in the crowd and maybe felt inspired, you know what I'm saying, just that one day he can achieve this or achieve something that he may think of, you know what I'm saying. A lot of people, especially in our community, in the Black community, we have all these dreams and ambitions, but because of the circumstances that we're around, we almost diminish ourselves just because of the mentality that's passed down. I always say Black people sell trauma because that's what's passed down.
Yeah.
And when you have other races, and we're talking about white, it's passed down like lineage or money or something like that, something that the next generation could build on. And I feel like when stuff is like that, it's passed down, especially with trauma and stuff, we have to, as individuals and Black people, we don't like to go to therapy. We don't like to do stuff like that because we might feel as though we're crazy or whatever it is it may be, but we need to have those conversations so we can stop it. Absolutely. We got to. So I didn't mean to ramble and all that, all that and everything. But I think that's where it starts. So being able to answer your question, being able to be in the main event with David, to share that moment and possibly spark something in somebody's mind, you know what I'm saying, was really, really great to be a part of. And like I said, it would definitely be one of those matches where I'll look back and be like, yeah, I did that. And it was cool. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? If somebody can, if somebody can be like, yeah, I remember such and such, I'll be like, well, shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Definitely. Absolutely. You definitely did that. That was a great match.
No, thank you.
Outcomes sucked, but it was a great match.
Yeah. Them handcuffs hurt. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Them handcuffs hurt. Oh my Lord.
One of the things that always wore me out about that was the handcuff situation, right? Like the fact that here it is, you get pinned, you're handcuffed, and like there seems to be no recourse for that. Do you ever think, and I know you're kind of on some other tracks right now, do you ever think at some point things will circle back where you can finally get a degree or a modicum of revenge on David Ali?
That has to.
I believe everything happens, everything comes full circle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think, especially right now with everything going on with Ziggy and Ashton and all that, my mind is definitely elsewhere. But the main focus, and has always been the main focus, was the SHW title. So as long as David has it, you know what I'm saying, there's definitely going to be a time where he's going to run me. He has to run me my fate. He has to. It comes back around. And, the cliche stuff, he may have won the battle, but the war is not over, so to speak. And it's not, because he's going to have to run me this fade. And what I know about life and what I know about Get Back, what goes around comes around like a hula hoop.
It does.
David. We just going to pray on that, and we just going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it moving. But when it come, y'all heard it here first. I'm telling you. Boom.
Okay.
Y'all heard it here
Mark
first.
It down.
Whew.
May 17th.
Check the date. I'm excited.
I love it, man. I love it. I cannot wait till that comes back around. Of course, you got some other people in your sights right now before that can happen. And we can get to that here in a little bit, talking about our upcoming show, June 4th, SHW 28, which is crazy. We're already at 28, which is awesome.
28 is
Right?
wild.
And we
Time
missed
flies,
and we
guys.
missed like
Jeez.
6 months because of the pandemic too. So think about where we should be. But
right.
You know, speaking of which, when we had that time off, you know, that's when we spoke to you the last time here on the podcast. We were in a downtime. We weren't having any shows. And I'm curious, I don't know if we asked you then or if since then, did you do any shows that were like empty arena shows?
No, actually.
No, I was just curious
usually,
because
my shows like it either got to a point where I'm sorry, I'm not sitting outside, so this loud trash truck is coming through.
Okay,
But
fine.
no, actually, because when it was up until like getting to the show date, the show would cancel because of the restrictions with COVID. So I never really experienced it wrestling in an empty, arena, so to speak.
Gotcha.
But
well, the reason I was going to ask is because I'm just curious, and even if you didn't wrestle in an empty arena, just the time off from wrestling every single month or every single weekend, perhaps, what was it like when you finally got to come back? And I don't know if Rumblejack was your first match back. Maybe it was.
I think it was. Yeah, it was. I think, yeah. I think my first match back was Rumblejack.
So how did that feel with that crowd just being away for so long and then coming back to that live audience? What was that like?
So, like, since I started wrestling, I haven't taken time away from it because of the injury. Knocking on wood, you know what I'm saying, because of nothing like that or anything. So quarantine was the first time that I actually everything stopped. You know what I'm saying? I had to sit down and I had to actually okay, well, what am I gonna do with all this time? You know what I'm saying? Because once the show stopped, my gym stopped closing. You know what I'm saying? So I had to maneuver. Then everybody's buying up a hell of a lot of toilet paper, so I had to make sure I had toilet paper. So during those times, I just really just kept. I honestly did a lot of reading. I really actually did a lot of reading, not just physical reading, because I listen to a lot of audiobooks. So I've been doing that. And I went to the chiropractor for the first time, which was scary. Just to see what it was like, because I always have a little in my back. And
What'd you think? What'd you think?
So it was great, and my posture and everything has been better since I've gone. And it's not because I watch it on YouTube, so I think it's that. I want the little wide little thing and get to my neck. I want all that to happen, but he didn't do none of that. He didn't do any of that. I was just all right, but I felt fine, and it does help. And I was dibbling and dabbling into meditating, to be honest.
Okay.
So yeah, just trying to find different ways to deal with because like I said, everybody deals with depression and stuff like that. Just to manage the highs and the lows.
Especially during 2020.
I was going to ask you
exactly.
How your mental health was during the lockdown.
I had a PlayStation. I bought a PlayStation, so that helped. That helped. I definitely bought a PlayStation, but sometimes I did have to get off of social media because it looked like it was the same TV show, the same thing. You wake up and it's Black Lives Matter. It's the lockdown. The numbers are going up, but it's not really going up. It was a lot. So in those particular moments, there will be days where I wouldn't just get on my phone because I already knew what it was going to be. Then we were going to show replays of the killing or the whole movement. It was just ridiculous. So during that time, I just really I bonded with my family a lot more. Since I wasn't able to go see them, my aunt has an iPhone now. She hasn't had an iPhone ever because she hates iPhone. But I was like, look, I don't do them Androids. So let's get an iPhone so we can FaceTime.
Oh,
and now we all FaceTime, and it's great. And I just be like, remember we say you didn't like iPhones? So just on stuff like that, and bonding on a, because literally we were either whoever you were locked in quarantine with, you were either locked in with them, or some people were by themselves. So for me, I was by myself, and I just played the game and tried not to go insane. And I did a couple of TikToks.
Did you?
I did do a couple of TikToks, but I stopped. And that's the crazy part. When we were about to get let back outside, I stopped.
Wow.
So I was like, but I'm coming back to TikTok because my TikToks were fire.
I want to see. You have to send me the links. I want to see
I'm going to send you all of my TikToks.
Well, for the fans out there, how can they find you on TikTok? I don't even know how TikTok works. So you have is it at
I
such
think
and such?
my name, I think it's at TWTCAPT.
Okay, that makes sense.
I swear I think it's that.
That's
But
the same as Twitter and Instagram.
You just search.
Right?
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, I think it's the same thing. I haven't been on there in forever because, like, literally when we got that back outside, I was like, this TikTok thing is really hard because you gotta like. I sat there for hours, like, that's not gonna be funny. Nah, they're not gonna like that. That's stupid. Why would that be a thing? You're like, yeah.
It doesn't matter. So, I mean, everybody wanted all kind of content back in that. I'm personally not on TikTok, thank God, because I'm full. But
and for the record,
it's I mean, there's no telling what would happen.
For the record, it's TWTCAPT 202.
Okay, see, that was the next one. See, shout out to the research department. There we go.
There it is. There it is.
Shout out to the research department.
Anything. Go ahead and tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Y'all follow me on TikTok because I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna stop saying. I'm gonna just do it. And I know the TikToks that I want to do because I have them saved. Oh, it's gonna be hilarious.
I'm following now.
Send me the links.
I got you. Oh, it's gonna be hilarious.
Part of the reason I brought up, what it was like getting back in front of that live crowd is because I feel like, and I don't know exactly what show it was that GB and I started to notice this, but the Owen Knight, I refer to them as the Owen Knight fan club. They sit there in the front row. You've got a handful of guys. I don't know, there's like maybe 5 or 6 or 7 of those guys, and they are hyped for Owen Knight. But the confusing thing is, and I don't know if I've ever said this on commentary, but we've definitely talked about it off air. Is that those same guys are the ones that are saying hallelujah, and I'm like, wait a second. So they're David Ali fans, but they're Owen Knight. I'm very confused. But
you know what was funny though is they're so calm and singing their hallelujah.
Exactly.
But when Owen comes out, they're like banging the barricades, trying to tear the house down.
It's the Rick Ross. I swear I think it's the Rick Ross. You gotta relax. Rose needs to chill. He got to chill.
God, they love it. That music hits and they're just like.
But that's one of my favorite parts is when your entrance hits because you go over there and you get hype with those guys. How does that feel knowing that those guys are there for you to see you? And that's the reason they come to the shows, man. That's awesome.
Lit, bro. It's so lit. I'm not gonna hold you because like I know when I come out, I'm like if nobody else ain't banging with me, they gonna be banging.
They are right.
Yeah. And they just down, bro. Like they get hype and they watch they not only for my match but just for in general the show. They just loud me for the show. But for me personally, they dope. They dope. Yeah. All of them. All over the
now, that last show, they bought all of them bought those megaphones from Austin Howard's cable.
They did. With sirens.
You hear everything they're saying. I mean, it's like, oh my God.
It took me a minute to figure out.
I didn't know they bought it. That's crazy. Yes. I didn't know they did.
It took me a minute to figure it out. Yeah.
Who are those guys with megaphones now?
I'm like, do we have a PA system in the building? What's going on in here?
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on.
It was crazy. I was like, guys, oh my God. They can hear everything.
I did not know that. That is funny.
When my mic stopped working, I was like, "Give me a megaphone."
Yeah, they got 4 of them. Jesus.
Right.
Because I heard somebody was. I heard somebody was selling them, and I was just like, I wonder who bought megaphones. But that just makes it even more funny. Good. Keep them. Good.
I want to go back to something you said a little bit earlier during quarantine, where you were reading books. And you were listening to audiobooks. What were some of the books you were reading or listening to during that time?
I listened to I was actually, to be honest, I was going back and listening I love Harry Potter. So I went back to listen to some of the little Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
One book I did in particularly listen to pretty much every day for maybe a month and a half straight was a book by Russ, the rapper. It is called It's All in Your Head. It's like I think 13 or 14 track, and it's just he's going through the steps and the procedures of how to overcome depression, anxiety, and how to get out of your own way. Like I was saying, as far as some of the time things don't happen in certain people's lives is because of themselves or self-esteem issues or whatever it is that may be. Yeah. So the book was just saying if you have that negative mindset, you only stop yourself. So it's all in your head. And it was I listened to it by when I was working out, when I went to the grocery stores and stuff like that, or even riding around in the car. It was a very, very good book, and I still listen to it to this day. And I think as a mental gear switch, it did switch for me, because one thing I did notice when we were on lockdown, no matter with or without us, this still happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we had to take appreciation of what we have like now. You know what I'm saying? Being able to do this, being able to just do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Quarantine, if it didn't teach me anything, was just we take some of the, so we take certain things for granted.
Yeah.
So reading that book definitely made me get like in tune with, especially when coming out of quarantine, getting back into wrestling and getting the wheels back going and everything. It had to being down for so long, and even through quarantine, when people were still making moves as a competitor, you're like, you know what I'm saying? So you're having that constant battle with yourself. But I listened to that book, and I recommend that book for anybody. And he was giving the perspective of it from a music standpoint, because like I said, he's a rapper. So I just applied it to my wrestling, and I just I prefer, like, if people take an interest to it and listen to it, definitely put it towards anything in your life that you do. You know what I'm saying? Definitely gonna apply it. So
yeah, so good. I love that.
Nice.
And I try to get this Nipsey Hussle book, but it came out like, I think it comes out like next year or so. Or I don't know when it comes out, but I want to get that book. I don't know the title of that book, but Nipsey Hussle has a book coming out.
Get on back order. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Put it on my Amazon Prime.
There you go.
Put it on the Prime.
For sure.
So
Man.
I know we probably touched on this the last time we had you on, as far as like, even outside of SHW, as far as your wrestling goals are concerned, what you have in your sights, like where you're headed. And I know when we talked to you last time, we were in the middle of a pandemic, we were in a lockdown, and everybody was at home, and we didn't even know when is wrestling going to start back up? Is it going to start back up? So
I thought about doing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say. So where are you at right now with, like, what's in your sights as far as your goals?
I recently re-debuted on PWX this past Saturday. My main goals for and that's my main goal as far as wrestling goes, is to get to the eyes, get around the eyes that needs to see me. You know what I'm saying? That the eyes that matter, so to speak. So my goal now is to tear it up throughout the remainder of the Southeast. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully get up into the Carolinas, and hopefully up into the northeastern part, and really just try to get my name out there and submit myself. You know what I'm saying? My anniversary was like a couple of days ago. It was 8 years. I started when I was like 18. When I was 18. So just being able to look at from where I came to now, I'm definitely enjoying like the ride, so to speak. But definitely, I even want to go to Japan one day. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind. I'm open to anything. My main objective is definitely getting signed. Like I've been speaking to stuff, like, and that's another thing I've been doing in quarantine too, manifesting things, just saying things that are going to happen. Yes. And I've been saying since quarantine that I want to get signed. And not just that, not to have no like random deal just thrown, but I feel like if you manifest things, the God in the universe, it comes when it's supposed to come. So I just been speaking and putting that out there. So my main objective is to just get signed and put on as many bangers as I can with some of the very top people within independent pro wrestling. You know what I'm saying? The match I was referring to with PWX, I wrestled Euler, who's been over the world wrestling the top people. So just stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to better myself as an individual, as a performer as well too. So just trying to make the big bucks, man.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Absolutely. I hear you. Right there with you, buddy. So like, well, the thing is with what you're doing in SHW, I mean, I think I can speak for all of us when I say you're well on your way to that point just from what we've seen in SHW, and I'm sure you're knocking it out anywhere you're at. I'm sure. But speaking of SHW and bringing it back to, you kind of touched on it earlier. You had a few instances over the last couple of months with Ashton Starr, Ziggy Dice, who has been signed to a national company, being that NWA, he was a television champion. He comes in and sneak attacks you and tries to make a name at your expense.
What made him come after you?
I don't know, bro. I don't know if he has, if he's, I don't know. I don't know what's his beef with me. My thing of it is, he hopped over the rail. I think what did he have, a monkey mask on? I didn't know what it was. I was really scared, to be quite honest with you. I don't know what his beef is. I don't understand. You know, a lot of people come from other places. They come, especially come to SHW and try to, you know, pop their gums and do all that.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it was from behind. You know what I'm saying? And as you saw the last time SHW was running, he had to use Ashton. Ashton, his little buddy, had to use him to, you know, try to get the one up on me. So I could say a lot of things, what it could be, but what I do know it is beef on site. That's all I'm gonna say is beef on site. And come next month, he gonna like I said with David, they gonna have to run me this fade. Yeah. And as far as Mac goes, because I know you guys are probably gonna have to touch on Mac and coming out and stuff like that. Personally, I don't have any beefs with Mac. I don't. Personally, I don't. You know what I'm saying? He's a good guy. You know what I'm saying? From Instagram and the tweets and stuff, he's a good guy. But professionally, I've been down that road. You saw it. You all saw it. I don't even have to explain it. For the people that know, they saw the backstabbing way before I saw it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just know not to go down there. And when I told them I was a solo act, that whole team aspect stuff, no, been there, done that. No one's gonna take care of me like I'll take care of me.
So your team is Owen.
Yes, my team
working
is Owen.
Team captain for Owen.
Working team captain for Owen. Because because if I don't put myself over, who the hell is?
Wow.
That's right.
Is that Ziggy Dice? Ziggy Dice trying to break into that car over there?
I don't know. It might be Ziggy. It really might be. Or their alarm is tripping. I don't know. But they did just get out the car. This is gonna be a ghetto. This is gonna be a ghetto podcast. It's gonna be like only Owen will have
highest rated right here.
Exactly.
Last show I had a motorcycle come through and Brandon thought it was a cow. So
it sounded like
So it's fun. We do all kind of stuff on this podcast. It's you never know what you're gonna hear.
Oh my gosh. Hilarious.
You got to put underneath the bottle that no cars were harmed in the making.
Right. Well, to go back real quick about Ziggy, why did Ziggy attack you? I look at it as he's coming in wanting to make an impression right off the bat. To me, he's going after one of the top names, the top guys, to make a statement off of you. And that's how I looked at it.
And when you are in that top spot, when you are that guy, because you hear the reactions when I come out, you know what I'm saying? No one's deaf in there. You know what I'm saying? You hear the reactions. The people love me, and I love the people. So when him coming in there, I already knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? That was and we had to, say it out loud. That's exactly what it was. It was him trying to come in and take my soul. And I get it. He's outlandish. I get it. He wears shiny jackets. It's great and all. But don't come in and try to eat off my plate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because then we have a problem. Then we have an issue. And then you team up, like I said, with his buddy. You team up with Ashton, who kind of probably feels the same way because he deserves an SHW title shot. Yeah. When I haven't even gotten a rematch, but we're not even going to talk about that.
Right.
We're not even going to talk about that. Do y'all research, boys. But as far as Ziggy goes, bro, he gonna get what's coming to him, bro. He gonna have to run me this fade. He gonna have to run me this fade with or without Ashton.
Yeah,
so it is what it is.
Well,
if he want the top, if he want the top spot, he gonna have to come with it.
Yeah,
he gonna have to come with it with a body bag because I ain't going like that.
What you got without that stinky spray?
Yeah.
And I like what you said too about the Mac. So people, if they haven't seen it yet, we posted earlier this week. It was a backstage interview. You and Mac talking to Susie after the show last month. And basically you'd letting him know that you had already been through this almost reunion with David before David went totally crazy and went off the deep end. And so you were letting people know you don't want to repeat that, go through that whole reunion, new era reunion thing all over again.
And you got to learn from your mistakes.
We lost you for a second.
Oh, Lord, my bad. You hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. No, you have to learn from your mistakes. Yeah. And that was one thing that I learned was from not putting all my trust and all my eggs in one basket, as my mom says. So I had to look at that past situation and realize that, no, I'm gonna have to do it my own. I got to watch my own back. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, Ziggy coming in from that top spot, it doesn't, who knows who wants, that spot. You know what I'm saying? It could be everybody named mama. So I can't trust anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, David went off the deep end. Like you alluded to. David went off the deep end. He went crazy. Danny did her own thing, and you know what I'm saying. So I think it's just best this way. Yeah. I really think it's just best this way. And I appreciate Mac. I appreciate the help, but I'm good, big dog. I'm good.
It's interesting you mentioned, of course, both David and Danny. Both of them obviously partners with you at one time in the new era. Both of them also in 2020 found their way on AEW television. And I know you've talked about being signed and things of that nature. Two things. One, what are your feelings on David and Danny, of course, being partnered with you at one time, now getting that opportunity to be on AEW television? And two, where would you like to be signed if you could have things your way?
For the first question for Danny, David, it's exciting. It really, really is. And we're gonna be completely honest, it really is exciting. I love seeing people who are good at what they do. And regardless of the beef and all that other stuff, they're just good at what they do. So what they do. So seeing them on a platform like that and seeing them going out there and doing what they got to do, you know what I'm saying? Doing what they was put on this earth to do is great to see. So I was all for success when their accomplishments started to come in. It was great. It was great to see. And it gave me hope, just like if it can happen to them, it can definitely happen to me, you know what I'm saying? So that keeps the faith and stuff going. So I was very, very excited. Still, they're killing it. They're killing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so
then the second question was, where would I like to be signed at and have it my way? Where would I like to be signed? If I could say all over, I'd be like all over. But
hey, look at Kenny Omega.
Have my own way. I really like what MLW has like going on down there. I think the people down there are like nitty and gritty. I like them. Amira Reed, they got Leo Rush down there. Calvin, oh my goodness, Tankman, yes, they got Tank down there. So they got a lot of things cooking down there and everything. So I think for me, I would love to get, signed by them and go down there and tear it up with them, because I feel like the bangers and stuff will be coming like hotcakes, bro. And I think, you know what I'm saying, from what I see from the footage and stuff that they put out, they kind of give people, not, free roam, but they let them be themselves, you know what I'm saying? They let them do what they got to do. It. They got a high quality of talent stuff down there. So definitely one of them. Definitely, if I had to pick one because I'm a sucker for the grind. I do like the grind process, because it's just, it's good when you can, get out here and get on your A game and you are doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different feeling. So to answer your question, I would MLW for sure. That would definitely be the first one to like sink my teeth in, and then we'll see. ROH is another one. I like what ROH is doing too. With Gresham being over there, I always wanted to wrestle Gresham when he trained at WWE. Always wanted to. And when I got there, he blew up. Like he was out of there, and he would come time and time again, and it just never like clicked, or not clicked. I'm sorry, it just never ran its path yet. So. I always say I want to wrestle Gresham. I want to wrestle Jonathan Gresham. Not just from us being from the same school, but he's arguably one of the best wrestlers in the world. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to come, from the same school a day, I would love to tear it up. It's that trash truck again. I'm sorry. He just
you're good.
He's going through it.
I don't hear it.
We can't hear it.
Okay, cool. He was I would definitely like to tear it up with him. Yeah, ROH. Wow. And TNA, not really. Yeah. I don't think I think it's all about what you make of the opportunity too. So like if something comes in such a way, it's what you make of it. Like that's just how I look at things. You know what I'm saying? Like some people look at the glass half empty. I look at it and it's half full. Like, all right, we can put some more juice in here. We got something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wow.
Just give me the paper, right?
Get the paper, we can flip it, and then we can come back and then we can run it up some more. It'll be fine.
Oh, that's so good. I think either of those options are fantastic for you.
Yeah.
All of them certainly don't just have internet situations, but they have TV deals as well. And so
and of course the big boys too. Of course WWE, of course them too. But if I had to say right here, right now, definitely there, just to get the reps and get the name flowing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Put some more money on the name. If it makes sense.
Absolutely.
Put some more money on the name. Okay, yeah.
Totally. I love it.
Man, it's been so much fun to have you on here. And like I said, we got to not wait so long from the last
appearance to have you on again. We can't wait like
it can't be another year. Good Lord.
A panorama. We can't live through a panorama. We can't. We can't survive Zubats. We can't do all of that.
Yes.
talk at least once or twice within there. Like, come on,
love
man.
it.
Like, cicadas are out now. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I thought they came out like 7 years ago, but apparently they did it. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Let's not make this. Let's come back. Let's.
Yeah.
What is this? What is this? May.
Yeah,
right.
It's May.
Let's shoot for like August. Let's come on. Let's just put it out there.
We'll
shoot
do it
for
like.
August.
Well, you could be like a monthly check-in. Our monthly correspondent. We'll check in with you.
It could be a monthly check-in. It could be a monthly check-in to check on you guys, how you guys are doing, and vice versa. I'm down.
So good.
I love that you said.
Well, I mean, I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to actually tell you, but I want to thank you for having the interaction you had with me for the first match that I actually had at SHW.
Oh,
that was it was so much fun, and it made me.
I didn't know that was your first. Oh.
Yeah, that was like my tryout. If you didn't know, that was my tryout.
What? I didn't
the
know
reaction that you gave me and how the fans reacted really helped me land this job. So
well, girl, I don't know if you know this, girl, but you look good. So like, I can't.
That's what you said. That's what you said.
It's like the elephant in the room. You know, if I let you walk in, I'm like, that's beautiful over there, but I ain't gonna talk about it. So you just gotta go.
That's so funny. But
and
that was one of the most memorable things, and we had the picture to prove that. So it was just thank you, and I love you.
Picture.
I got your back. If nobody else has got you, I got you.
We do too. We do too.
We do.
I love you, man. I love you.
I love you so much.
Listen, see, now you're making it hard for any of our other guests to like end it on this kind of note, because this is like the best note we've ever ended on with our interviews.
They ain't gonna be able to do it. They ain't gonna be able to do it.
Can't top it. Can't top
it. Hurry up, my mascara's
Well, I will tell you what. June 4th, SHW 28 is our next big show where you can come out and see Owen Knight live and in person and in action. And it's going to be amazing, and we can't wait to see you there. And
I'm going to announce you one way or the other. I'm going to do it.
Yes, it's coming. I got to hear it. It gets me tingling.
That's right.
Makes me jump.
Because Diana, the last couple of shows, has not been able to get her announcement.
You got Bogart for the mic, bro.
I swear I'm going to lose my mind.
Mm-hmm.
My cannon is going to go loose.
Well, we're gonna make it happen at the next show, so we can't wait to see you. So come out, see Owen Knight in person, and if you haven't seen him live yet, you're missing out. So
come see me. I will have new merch. Come see me.
Oh, I need some merch.
I know I have been slacking on the merch game, but getting stuff back in order. I stopped being scared of setting up at the table now. So
come share my table. Come share my table.
I will be back at the table so that the people who are there hands-on can definitely get their hands-on, get their product right then and there. And then I got some online stuff coming too. So we definitely gonna go get it popping. So I had to plug that before we left.
Absolutely.
Cool. And where can everybody find you online?
We're by Pro Wrestling Tees has like my first two. But I think I'm about to start doing I think Storefront Tier is what I hear. A lot of people that I know who has a couple of T-shirts and stuff on there. I think maybe Ashton has them.
Look, last time you were on with us, and I went to Pro Wrestling Tees, and I got one of your old ones because I didn't know it was an old one. And you said, "What is that? You don't need that." And then I got the new one from you. So you I was like, okay.
If I would have gave you the money back for that one, but I appreciate you.
Of course not. Yeah.
When he saw it, I was like, oh Jesus! All right, hey.
Yeah. I got that Captain America.
You and two other people.
That's
you and two other people had that shirt. So
I got that Captain America looking one. That's the one. That's my favorite.
Yeah, you can get a war ready one. I definitely have a I got a colorful one coming. I got some stuff coming. It's really gonna be good. It's really gonna be good. I hope y'all bangs with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, once again, man, thank you.
I'm gonna bang with it.
Well, of course, yeah. Well, we will too. In fact, when next time we have you on, we'll all be wearing Owen Knight shirts. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, okay. I'm like, well, look at this. Yeah. Who is this ugly person on the shirt? It's like,
man, thank you so much once again for coming on with us, man. We always have a blast with you. So, thank you for joining us, and we can't wait to see you on June 4th.
Oh yeah, thank you guys for having me, man. It's always a lady. Love you. Y'all be safe.
Another fun interview with our guy, the working team captain, Owen Knight. I could arguably call him one of the hardest working men in SHW.
Oh yeah,
No doubt.
Always brings the fire and the thunder, and it's great to have him on the show. And we might have to employ that thing of this monthly or quarterly correspondent thing. I think I like it.
That could be a fun. That could be fun. We'll have to come. We'll have to get together, but have a little think tank with him and kind of figure out what it could
Check
be.
in with Owen.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be a lot of fun though. And I'm super glad he was able to join us here, and always fun to have him, always fun to be able to talk to him. And Diana, you kind of mentioned it, I think in the interview, about how it's cool to be able to have this kind of forum to be able to actually talk to our wrestlers, the men and the women on the roster, just because when we're at the shows, there is a whole lot of running around. We talked about it at the beginning of the show, all the running around you're doing backstage, the stuff we're doing with the pre-show, we're kind of running around. And we don't have time to just
see everybody backstage. I know you guys don't get to get back there as much, but you see everybody backstage, and you want to just kind of catch up and see what's going on. How have you been all month? But half the time they're getting dressed or whatever, or I'm over here doing something or trying to make sure that I've got all my cards right, because you never know what's going to happen. Something's going to change, and so you don't get a time to, hey guy, man, what's up? What's going on? I mean, it's a quick hug, good to see you, and then it's like boom. And then by the time the show's over, it's like, dang, we gotta wait another month. So this is to have this and be able to talk to people and actually see what's in their hearts, because he spoke from his heart tonight. And that was, I love that. I love to see what's inside, and see where his head is and where he's gonna what he wants to do, what his goals are, and I love Owen. I do.
Absolutely.
He's one of my top faves, and
absolutely,
it's just, he is the man.
He is.
He is underrated. He is still underrated, and he's climbing up out of that, and I'm pushing. Go Owen.
Absolutely. Yeah, and one of the things that I'm really starting to see, and we've said it before, but SHW really is kind of the breeding ground for some amazing talent that the rest of the wrestling world will be getting to see soon if they're not seeing them already. And so for me, like I'm that guy who loved when CDs came out, because I like to read liner notes. I'm a nerd like that. Probably couldn't tell. But I'm a big nerd like that. I like knowing the behind the scenes, who produced what, who was the engineer here, who wrote this kind of stuff, because later on down the road, when they become recognizable to the public and they're mainstream, you go, no, I remember when they produced that. And so I think for a lot of wrestling fans now, it's so funny being in places like Clubhouse and other spots. Shout out PWA. It's fun to be in some of these spots where they're talking about wrestlers who have been in Southern Honor, and I can tell them, let me tell you where they were, to be able to tell them about
the biography, and that is amazing.
Well said. So all the more reason why you should check out SHW, because you just never know who you're going to see today that you may see in some other space tomorrow or next week or next year. 2020 proved that on a lot of fronts, actually. So definitely keep checking out what's happening here in SHW, and you just never know.
We touched on this with Owen a little bit too, about how we started this podcast just over a year ago. And GB, you know how Facebook shows you your memories from a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever. So it was maybe a couple weeks ago that, and granted, we haven't had 52 episodes. I mean, we're close, but we did take a few weeks off. We took a few weeks off for holidays and stuff. But a year has gone by, because I noticed a couple weeks ago that it was our first episode, and I was like, wow, it's been over. Now it's
we have to have a 1 year anniversary.
That's right. We just had just over a year now. So
a bunch of people come and drop notes and drop in, and
the big
it might be a very long show, but it would be like, have the little noise makers.
What's interesting is, and I don't know if we talked about this on the actual show or not, GB, but the original idea, before we decided to make a weekly podcast, the original thought was, why don't we do just a video like this, but we have like little 5-minute chunks of interviews with like 10 different people from the roster. and then put it, and then make like an hour to 2 hour long video, and it was just gonna be like a one episode, just a one-off thing.
Right.
And then the idea,
do a best of.
well, and then the idea kind of got spitballed around a little bit, and Dylan was like, well, why don't you just do longer interviews with one person at a time?
Yeah.
And then just make it like an episodic thing. And we started talking about it. I was like, yeah, why can't we do that? That sounds good.
Absolutely.
And then next thing you know, here we are a little over a year later.
Right.
It's crazy to think it's been that long, but
amazing. Wow.
And it's been a lot of fun. So
it's so much fun. I look forward to this every week. I really do.
Yeah.
I always know after the show, okay, chill, because Monday we got to hash it out.
Right.
And then we gotta, we gotta breathe again, and then get hyped up again for the next show. And I love you guys.
Yeah. And we love you.
The feeling is absolutely mutual. So
totally.
But I do want to thank the fans for just over a year of this podcast and for watching us and listening to us every single week. So we appreciate it very much. And we will
drop a line, like send us a message, tell us what you think, and
messages,
who
comment.
would you like to see? We want to know who you want to see, who you want to talk to.
Yeah.
Because we can't, we can do everybody twice, whatever, but we want to know, who do you want to talk to? So let's drop us a note, give us some ideas.
Absolutely. So, but we will be back next week, and we're excited to see you then. And then, of course, then it'll be show week, I think, after that. Is that right?
That's right. That's right,
man. So it'll be here before you know it. It'll be here before you know it. Cannot wait. But hey, you know what? Until then, this has been
SHW.
This is our wrestling.